on expedition, your clothing system probably doesn't change as much as your equipment system. And most of this clothing that I wore on Nanga Parbat is the same that I wear winter climbing anywhere. And my sort of standard winter climbing pants are the Mixmaster Pants, and they've got a little bit of insulation inside and soft shell. And I pretty much always start with that. And I walked out of base camp in Nanga Parbat in that pair of pants right there. And then I started also with this t-shirt, a Capelline t-shirt, because down low, it's in the Himalaya, it's quite hot. You're starting climbing at only 12,000 feet, and you're going up to 26. So you need to start with something that's pretty cool. And then as you get a little higher, it gets a little colder, or clouds come in, or whatever. You need some long sleeve. I go with a R.5. I really like the stretch and the feel of that. And then my next layer is going to be an R1 pullover, and I really like that combination. And of course, with some of the other layers, like my feet, I'm starting off with a pair of Capelline liner socks, a pair of expedition weight socks. And what I do with my socks is at the end of the first night, I'll take those socks off and I'll put on a dry pair of socks, and then I'll wear these socks on day 2, and then on that night I'll have dried out the socks inside my layers in my sleeping bag the night before, and so I'll just keep rotating like that. And in the beginning of the climb, I'll be using a lightweight glove, like a work glove there, and that's a good dexterous glove that you can do a lot with. Now, as it gets a little cooler, I'm going to go for a insulated piece. I'm going to go with the R2 high loft because the weight and warmth is the best of all the fleeces in that piece. And for my shell, I tend to go with a Houdini for the big mountain shell, because for 3 ounces and the size of a baseball, you can't really beat it, and it's windproof, snowproof. It's got a little hood and pretty much everything you need up there. Of course, then I've got your basic hat. And as it gets colder, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to add silk weight long johns, because the Capelline in this layer slides really well inside this Mixmaster Pants and gives me a little more warmth. Now I'm going to probably be bumping up to something like the Stretch Element glove, and as it gets colder still, I might be starting to sleep in my balaclava and pulling out the mittens for early morning excursions, first part of the day. And then, you got your DOS Parka, and the DOS is in and out of the pack the whole time. It's the ace in the hole piece, keeping you warm, helping you dry your layers by putting it on over the damp layers that are damp from sweat. And that's really, the all-purpose thing. I'm sleeping in this. I'm putting it on at the belays. It's in and out of the pack 100 times, and it's a really key piece on all this. And then last but not least is the pajamas for sleeping in and for wearing on summit day, the puff pants with the full side zips you can get on and off over boots and crampons, and really a key thing for high altitude climbing. And really when you look at all of this, there's not that much here. It's a really simple, lightweight system, based on the sort of soft shell concept with synthetic insulation. And this is exactly the pieces, exactly the clothing that I wore on Nanga Parbat kept me warm and dry and safe all the way up and all the way back.